Good morning, everybody. I'm your spooky host, and welcome to Pokemon Showdown, and also testing out my new setup. It's actually looking a little bit asymmetrical right now. Oh, that's important. Kind of hard to see Ben. Let me work on that really quick. I'll get Ben right up. That balances things out a little bit better. There it is. Alright. If I get something up in like that area, that'd be pretty good. Now the lighting isn't... My glasses are definitely making it worse. But the I guess the lighting could use work. I'm controlling it pretty well, but definitely a little bit of a glare. And then I guess my actual lighting's a little bit aggressive too, but yeah, I just wanted to test the audio out, and then once we get a person or two in here, we're going to... So I've been in that Pokemon Draft League, and we did a video on that a couple weeks ago. That was week 1. We've had weeks 2 through 4 since, but I was a little bit busy. Whoa! A beaver for me! Thank you, Greens! Question for you, Greens. How is the audio? Does it sound pretty good? It is a new setup. It's doing its best, the lighting. That is like... Wonder if I should put the overhead light on. Audio is really good. That's kind of surprising to hear. If so, that's like a miracle because my mic's a little bit kind of far away from me. Let me test it out on a side computer here. There might be some reverb for a second, but I wanna hear this. I mean, you can definitely hear me, but it's not as tight as it used to be. Okay, that's sufficient. Got the gain cranked up. Maybe if I just put the gain down a little bit, like here. But yeah, this is the new setup. I moved into, and I gotta work on the lighting too. Take it down. I moved into. Maybe I need more. I moved into the guest bedroom that we had because I wanted like a cool background and stuff. It was cold in the basement, and because we realized we could make the basement like a big guest room. So yeah, new setup. I'm gonna put something up there. Need to have something there to bounce it out, but if so, then I think we got a really cool background. Got Ben. Ben's our resident skeleton buddy. We've got some skeleton heads with ravens eating them, a spooky candle, some buddies here, my villainous collection, spooky books, purple tree, candle lights, and then the big old spooky host sign. So up in the production value here a little bit at Spooky Host Incorporated, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. I might need to work on the lighting a little bit. It's like really aggressive. Maybe I'll try. I mean, I'm not getting any. The thing is, I'm not getting like any shadows under my eyes. It's like try overhead lighting really quick. No, we're not going to do overhead lighting, I don't think. Anyways, AT Linder, glad to hear you're doing well. Greens, thank you for letting me know my audio is good. let's go through the matches we had in the first 3 weeks and talk about them a little bit. So my week 2 match was against Team Lunar Strike. I shouldn't be using the real name. It's Team Lunar Strike, and they had a pretty well balanced like set of Pokemon. So I was trying to figure out what strategy to go with, and one thing that really tripped me up here was I was traveling that week, and I had like family responsibilities I had to take care of, so I was a little bit unprepared compared to how I should have been, but well, you'll see the results. One thing that really got me in this match is I didn't expect him to bring like all of his fire types, and it brought an awareness to me that I'm pretty low on like answers to fire. Another one of the things about my draft is that I picked a couple of Vulpixes as really low tier mons to give myself some options for like higher pointed Pokemon for the rest of the season. So my goal is kind of to just like burn through a couple of these Vulpix usages, because in the league you got to use each Pokemon like 3 times. That's coming with you to the playoffs. I really need to work on my stat. Tighten it up a little bit. So I'm bringing one of the Vulpixes here to get one of those weeks done. The idea is the Alolan Vulpix can set up dual screens and ice for the and snow for the Kyurem, which can get the defense boost. Basically, like that'd be a 2.5 times defense boost and a 2 times special defense boost. That's enough to set up or something else. But I believe that this Kyurem had like Specs or Scarf. The thing I've noticed with a lot of my team is that they've got a really good special move pool, but not a great physical move pool, even though they can pull off some really nasty physical stuff. But let's get going here on the analysis. I'm gonna go through this pretty quick and just let it roll. So I led with the Galvantula, figuring I could reduce the speed a little bit, but that was the worst, pretty much the worst possible outcome, starting with Nidoking. Because I knew I was going to get hit with something that would kill me, and like I couldn't Volt Switch out. So it was a rough start. I was also playing this at a Topgolf while my brother and I was with my brother and brothers-in-laws and my father-in-law, and I was like, I gotta get through this really fast, so I'm not gonna like focus. So I got into the Celesteela to tank like an Earthquake or something, and he hits me with the Fire Punch. I don't know if that was a read or if he's not packing a ground type move. But Celesteela is super physically bulky, so handles it fine. And the Celesteela does the Lord's work for a couple of the matches here, honestly. Just getting some strength up, and then I just wanted to get the Leech Seed up and maybe stall him out a little bit. I knew maybe I could bring somebody else in, and then let them take a hit with the Leech Seed to get back up to health a little bit. So I go to the Iron Valiant, and I take a Fire Punch. And then what's nice is I get to get a hit off there. I brought the Psycho Cut specifically for that Nidoking, so that paid off well. And then he gets the Rocks up, which is going to be a little bit tough for my Galvantula. It's going to be a little bit tough for my Alolan Vulpix. And unfortunately, I get a miss there on my Leech Seed. Waste a little bit of a turn, but Celesteela is still okay. Definitely against that Pokemon. And then he switches in the Chandelure, a great move. And I'm going to continue to kind of tank here. Celesteela, again, just pretty incredible at being alive. And that's what you need. I switched into the Blastoise, which is a Shell Smash Blastoise. Hoping to just kind of finish off the team here. But I got greedy, and I didn't realize it had Energy Ball, and that kind of ruined my plan. The Blastoise was my linchpin because of Dark Pulse, Water-type move, and Fighting-type. I could pretty much sweep his entire team, but because I ate that Energy Ball, kind of goofed me up. And again, I don't think it's a decision I would make if I wasn't at a Topgolf. So I get killed by this Blaziken pretty quick, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried at this point. Because this is like a really low-ranked opponent, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting schooled all of a sudden. And then this Galvantula just starts to go on a tear. Again, a little bit worried about the rocks. And then I get up the snow and I get killed, and I don't have the Kyurem to kind of use this, so that's unfortunate. Nice thing is my Galvantula is super strong, Life Orb, so you can, with Galvantula, just Thunder, Life Orb, all Terra Electric all day, and you're gonna do great. And then he doesn't have too many answers to the Celesteela. That Blaziken's definitely going to do some damage, so I'm trying to heal up here to maybe be able to take a hit. And I know I want to keep it around for that Scizor, because I've got the Flamethrower on deck. So at this point, it's basically taken out that Blaziken. Luckily, again, Terra, Life Orb, Galvantula with Thunder is just going to do it. It's going to do most of the job against an Umbreon, which is pretty incredible, because Umbreon's such a tank. And an unfortunate miss, even with Compound Eyes, which is not something you would, I mean, it happens, but not something you expect too much. But I do get to take out the Umbreon, and I lose a little bit of health in the process. And then finally, this comes out, and I gotta deal with the Bullet Punch. Obviously, I was kind of expecting that. And then I get to pull in the win with Celesteela. I outspeed, and Flamethrower is the game. But I was definitely quaking in my boots during this one for a little bit. A little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to get the win in, but we did. The big key that I've noticed with this one... Oh, I got some on Discord. Okay, it's just me. One thing I've kind of noticed about this week and week 3 are just, I need to take my time and think and be patient. And if I do that, I could do a pretty good job in these matches, but we'll see, particularly in the next match. I just get into a lot of trouble with not predicting switch-ins right. There's a really good player in the league. He's 3-1 right now, which is really good. I won't talk about the outcome of this match yet, but essentially there's a rain team, and I prepared for this week. During the draft, I saw this was my week 3 matchup, and I was like, what if I pick a Vulpix and just rain out his, like, rain? Like put the sun up and dry everything out. That's why I brought the Vulpix here. And this Vulpix is specifically set up to counter this Politoed, where I've got Terra Water and Fire Spin on it. The idea being, first turn, he tries to hit me with a Water type move. I Terra Water to soak up the hit, Fire Spin to lock him in, and then Energy Ball to beat him. Unfortunately, I didn't do the math on that like I should have, and he does win eventually, but the Politoed doesn't like live long, so like Vulpix kind of did her job. Other than that, I've got this Scarfed Kyurem, which turns out to be an absolute monster. Looking at the team here, you can see Politoed, weak to Freeze Dry, Dracovic 4 times weak to Freeze Dry, Electrode weak to Freeze Dry, Thundurus weak to Freeze Dry. So we've got 2 problems here in terms of this Ambipom and this Golden Go that need dealt with, and I didn't deal with them fast enough. Again, this is another match where I was traveling, and this is the one where I really realized, like, I gotta sit down and take my time and think during these matches. I can't just burn through these people. We'll get started here. I was also packing the Mamoswine for a little bit of priority, and I wanted to pack a lot of my good Pokemon because I knew this guy was difficult. And the other one's the Gouging Fire, which obviously gets a little bit of a boost off of the sun that comes from the Vulpix. So yeah, this is the week 3 match against, this is the Groovy Golden Goes. And we'll get this going. Play sound off. So he leads with the Ambipom, which is fast and does a lot of damage. I kind of predict that it's going to do a lot of damage, so I go into the Celesteela, which I know can take it. Steel, highly defensive, that's fine. Still a lot of damage to Celesteela, and he's going to get out of there, which makes sense. I go for the Solar Beam. I packed it because of the sun, and I should have just went for a Flamethrower. I can't remember if I packed it or not. And then he comes in with the Rain, and I'm just still trying to take that Electrode. This is kind of what I'm talking about. These are some kind of obvious switch-ins that I should have. Yes, new stream setup, HollyJolly21. Thank you very much for noticing. I should. Yes, new stream setup. I moved into the guest room. We've got Ben. We've got the spooky host sign. We've got spooky things. Like, this is spooky stream once again. How do you think the audio is my question. My mic is farther away from my face than I would like, but I had to attach it to the windowsill, and I'm using these card tables as my desk, so it has to, my arm has, it sounds great. That's great. That's so good. That makes things nice and easy. But yeah, this is a new setup. I'm gonna work on it. I need something for right here, but we'll figure out what that is. But yeah, we're just going over the last couple weeks of my Pokemon Draft League that I haven't covered on stream yet. So he brings out the Politoed, and the big issue here is you can see, like, there's some obvious switch-ins that I'm just kind of missing and going for what's right in front of me instead of what I know could be coming. And I think that's just a matter of, like, taking my time and being patient, which is something I did a little bit more in the week 4 match. Sorry, I just had some macaroni and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese, and it's having an effect on my body. We'll keep it going here. I'm gonna set up that Vulpix when I get the chance. He's gonna take out my Celesteela. And the Vulpix is made to trap him. It's slower, exactly slower than the Politoed, and he does exactly, well, I didn't expect him to put the Rain Dance back up. That was a little bit tricky. But at least it's enough where I can kind of put it out for a while. He's definitely ready to counter rain strategies. But with the energy balls, I'm able to get him really close, and the Fire Spin locked him in there, so that's pretty good. I can finish him off with something else. But I definitely could have worked. I should have calculated that whole matchup. Now I bring in the Kyurem, which, again, like, I should have predicted something else here, but at the very least, I do get to pop that balloon, which is going to be good. And then into the Gouging Fire, which it's got a little bit of bulk to it, which is good. But again, he's switching out into things that are goofing me up a little bit. And I just needed to take my time and, like, think about what could happen. The Thunderfang was on hand just for this scenario, so that's pretty good. And then he's going to go for the Ambipom, which just does crap loads of damage. The Terra Normal on top of everything, and the amazing speed. Again, I could have calculated out the Ambipom speed versus a +1 Gouging Fire, and I didn't. That was silly. But this Iron Valiant is a little bit of a problem. There's another switch in where I should have just gone for knockoff. It would have been a little bit better there, and then he's going to get the kill, like, right away, and that was definitely not good. A few hits, I think, could have done a lot better of a job. Mamoswine's going to come in and go for the Stealth Rock, which is nice for the next time this thing's going to come in. No, never mind, I killed it. And then he comes in with the Vicious Rend, which is really dangerous with all the multipliers. Gonna try to get my Mamoswine speed up, but it doesn't matter because he's Scarfed. And then it's looking really bad here. This is insane what happens. So to this point, I would say I got totally outplayed. But I've got this Kyurem that's Scarfed, so it's faster than everything he's got, with Freeze Dry, which is super effective, 4 times super effective against Dracovic, super effective against Electrode, normal against Ambipom, and it's resisted by Golden Go. And by golly, pay attention what happens here. So I get the first one off. Freeze. Oh, no, not yet. There it is. A freeze against the Golden Go. So he can't hit me with a huge steel type move and kill me in one hit, which is pretty big. Because what he could have done is gone, he could have gone, like, something to Ambipom Fake Out, to something else to Ambipom Fake Out, something to Ambipom Fake Out, and it would have eventually got me. Instead, I get the freeze, and I kill him. But I do it again, and I get another freeze. 1 in 100 chance of that happening. And you can see him in the corner saying, seriously? Unbelievable. I think he absolutely outplayed me. But you're going to see the Kyurem just goes on a tear here, because there's nothing There's just nothing he can do. And he does everything he can. Like, this Electrode's so fast and it's strong, but Hiram's bulky. And it works out. And I'll definitely be better prepared next time. But that was crazy. That was 1 in 100 chance. The week 4 matchup, I was feeling pretty scared after almost losing that last one. So I was like, okay, I need to kind of get my shit together. And I really thought about this one and hatched up a plan. I didn't bring any Vulpixes. And here's kind of what we came up with. I noticed that this player, this is, what was the name of the team? I can't remember the name of the team. Oh, it's Team. It's Team. The team name is Team, so it's Team. This one I saw, he's led with the Bronzong every single time, and he's also brought Kartana. So I figured if I take care of those 2 threats, I can deal with the rest of it. The Bronzong likes to set up dual screens, and then it likes to maybe Stealth Rock, and then just like, I don't know, hang out. The screens aren't great because then it's going to be hard to kill Kartana, who could start going on a tear. Kartana's got disgusting attack and really good speed, and it gets the attack boosted when it gets a kill. So I brought the Hisuian Samurott. The idea being it would be a good lead for me to Ceaseless Edge, which is a dark type move that lays spikes, right off the bat, almost kill Bronzong, and get up a couple layers of spikes. That way, when he's switching around, he's at least going to take some damage. And then I brought the Celesteela as a straight counter to the Kartana, because I knew one flamethrower would take it out. And then everything else, I just brought some like fast Pokemon with good coverage to take care of. So let's check this match out. So here's the start we kind of expected. Ceaseless Edge, that does most of the damage, and it puts up a layer of spikes, really good. And then he goes, I brought this Brick Break specifically for that scenario where he put up a Reflect. The Brick Break is fighting coverage, and it also breaks screens, and I knew he was going to set up screens, so I did that. And then with this Kartana, I was like, okay, I'm going straight into Celesteela. I don't want to deal with that anymore. 4 times resistant against Leaf Blade, I'm not worried about it. And I know he's probably like Scarfed or Banded or something like that. And no, I don't know that. I take it back. I'm actually not sure about that. But I know he's gonna probably keep attacking or something. At the very least, I want this dead. So like, I don't care what he switches into. It can take a flamethrower. If I can kill this with a flamethrower, I'm gonna go for it. And he does switch out into Zygarde, which is totally fine. I've got my Celesteela for later. I hit him with a flamethrower. Don't get a burn. It's fine. But I know there's other things I want to do, so I go into Mammoth Swine. He sets up the Dragon Dance. I know I'm going to be fine with a Focus Sash and an Ice Shard. So I Stealth Rock. And then I Ice Shard, which gets him most of the way there. And then I believe I've got some priority on my Hisuian Samurott with Sucker Punch. So I wait for him to attack me. Oh no, I just take it. Never mind. I must have calculated it out. I set up another Ceaseless Edge, and you can see how much damage is being done by the entry hazards now. I just let Samurott die so I can get a healthy switch into Celesteela. And once again, oh no. Actually, I went for the Galvantula and I Bug Buzz. Okay, I forgot about that. It's different than how I pictured in my head. The Bug Buzz paid off really well there. Strong... What did I do there? Oh, okay, I stopped it. I mean, it's a strong move that can go through Substitute. It's fast, and it is powerful. That was I think it was that might have been a Scarfed Galvantula to be ready to outspeed anything. Anyways, he's gonna try to take down the Celesteela with the Brave Bird. Celesteela's too bulky to worry about that. And then you can see he's taking a lot of damage by coming in. I'm gonna keep switching out to try and keep him on his toes. He goes Dondozo, and he's gonna do the curse thing that all the Dondozos do. Freeze Dry is gonna do it because it's a physically defensive Pokemon versus a specially defensive one. And then we've got the Lele, who's again gonna take some damage coming in. I don't need to worry about priority attacks with Psychic Terrain on the field, but I just switched into Celesteela because I know Celesteela can tank just about anything, and I can hit it with a Heavy Slam. Honchko's going to take that and go down, and then we've just got one left, and that is the Tapu Lele, who will go down to another Heavy Slam. But I'm going to protect just to see what he's doing. Because at this point, I was trying to keep my Pokemon alive to have a better record. I don't recall this match as good as I thought I did. I should probably just wait for the things to happen and then commentate. Yeah, but the Shadow Ball will take it out. And that was the match. 4-0, best match I've had the season. Definitely felt more prepared for that one. Might stream tomorrow's, we'll see. I got a lot I want to do tomorrow still. But for the rest of this stream, I just figured I'd play some, I just play a couple of randoms because it's been a little bit. Wow, that is a very white screen. I need to go dark mode. Let's do some random battles. My lighting gonna get better? Give me dark mode. Oh my god, that's so much better. Alrighty. Alright, so he's got Dreadnought. That thing is definitely a shell.